day, everyone, and welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live programs. Thank you for joining us today. Our channel is dedicated to bringing live performances and events from international artists directly to our dear audience around the entire globe. I'm Anna Ospinskaya, and I'm very happy to be your host today. Welcome to the colORCHESTRA 22-23 concert season. This uniquely designed audition season is open to musicians of all ages who are available for soloing and for engagements with the orchestras within the concert seasons. Selected artists are awarded an appearance opportunity with the professional symphony orchestras. This two-tiered audition is readily accessible and honors musicians' own choice of the repertoire. We want artists to present themselves in the way which they feel they do very best. Today we invite you to the live broadcast of the concert, of the second concert in the series of two, which presents winners of the colORCHESTRA auditions, performing with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, conducted by Maestro Glen Cortese. The concert is about to take place at the glorious King Concert Hall at SUNY Fredonia. You're about to hear live a true feast of instrumental concertos, a unique program composed of 6 concertos written for a variety of instruments and from stylistic periods ranging from Baroque to classical and to Romantic. Now, let me announce the program of today's concert, which you can see on your screens. First will be Concerto in D major by Antonio Vivaldi, performed by Julio Reis, guitarist. Then followed by Timothy Shee, violinist, performing the Felix Mendelssohn Concerto in E minor. And the first half of the concert will be concluded with Mozart's Concerto number 20 in D minor, performed by Kia-Tong pianist. Stay tuned for the intermission because we will introduce commentary by very famous radio host and producer Steve Robinson. I can't wait for Steve to join us and provide his commentary during the intermission. And we have more interesting events to show during the intermission, so stay tuned. After the intermission concludes, we will have the second half of the concert, opening with Ben Batalla, pianist from the United States, performing Chopin's Concerto in E minor, and the concert will conclude with Nahar Elias, cellist from Israel, performing Camille Saint-Saëns Concerto in A minor for cello. Auditionees and performers were brought to you by a whole conglomerate of organizers. So let's take a quick look of what these auditions were about.
colORCHESTRA is hosting international auditions this fall 2022 for voice, strings, winds, and piano, for the chance to perform with a live professional orchestra. Our selected performers will be broadcast internationally performing concerti, arias, or songs. Submit your favorite videos of you performing today.
So that was a while ago. In the fall, auditions from many countries were seeking guidance and support from the judges through live comments, which judges provided live on air after each contestant's performance. The format of colORCHESTRA auditions is designed by Sound Espressiva to provide live interactive experience for all involved. And that means, of course, performers, judges, and you, our audience. Please don't hesitate to leave us a comment in the comment box on whatever platform you're using, and we'll bring those on screen. Music, of course, is the language of human interaction, and we want to support that. So we invite you to connect. We invite all the people of the colORCHESTRA project to connect with each other, to network, to make long-lasting relationships with music and each other. colORCHESTRA is a wide scope of events. Through additional educational programs, colORCHESTRA is also striving to support musicians who prepare for these kinds of auditions and competitions. These concerts are presented by virtual concert halls in partnership with many organizations. Just to name a few, you see their logos on screen: Brilliant Talent Discovery Awards, Progressive Musicians, Core Productions, Western New York Chamber Orchestra, SUNY State University of New York at Fredonia, Westminster Presbyterian Church of Buffalo, Sound Espressivo, with additional support of iClassical Academy of Switzerland, World Piano Teachers Association, and the History of Music social media channel. We invite our virtual audience to add your comments. Please be part of this event. In modern world and modern technology provides us this great opportunity to connect with each other in real time. Please take advantage of that. And today's live broadcast is brought to you by Virtual Concert Hall's production team, the fabulous Fedor Uspensky, Frane Rusinovich, myself, Ante Božić-Kudrić, Chris Au, and Igor Zubkovsky. This is a musicians-led company, and musicians who are providing the broadcasting services to these events. Today's concert at King Concert Hall of Rockefeller Center in Fredonia is the culminating event of a months-long project. The 6 soloists for these concerts were chosen through a rigorous auditioning process by an international panel of judges. And now they have arrived in Fredonia a few days ago for rehearsals with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra and to perform in these concerts. The soloists came from the United States, Israel, China, France. It's a truly international bouquet of phenomenal artists on stage tonight. That in itself is a manifestation of the power of music to unite people over any barriers of geography, disagreements, conflicts, languages, you name it. And let's meet the organizers of the colORCHESTRA auditions and these concerts. Core Productions was founded in Chicago in 2013. They bring opera to non-traditional audiences through the use of non-traditional venues, staging, and translations. Brilliant Talent Discovery Awards is dedicated to seeking and promoting talents of tomorrow and seeking brilliance around the world together with its many partners. Progressive Musicians is a musicians-led organizer of many competitions and concerts, prestigious venues around the world, places like Carnegie Hall. Virtual Concert Halls is an internet TV broadcaster, providing artists and arts organizations with a virtual stage and ability to reach audiences beyond the walls in conventional concert halls. Western New York Chamber Orchestra was established as a regional treasure of Chautauqua County, sharing music and excellence for more than 30 years. The orchestra collaborates with some of the best musicians and composers from the United States and internationally. SUNY State University of New York at Fredonia, public college that is nationally recognized leader in a wide array of academic programs with over 80 undergraduate and graduate programs designed to help students reach their full potential. And you'll hear later during the intermission an interview with the president of SUNY at Fredonia. He had a few very interesting things to say about collaboration and connection of people from different parts of the world. Westminster Presbyterian Church of Buffalo, New York is a congregation which embraces interfaith collaboration for the common good and has strong relationships with many congregations in the area and a rich, exquisite music program. Westminster believes they that sing pray twice. Our Classical Academy of Switzerland is a leader in high quality and professional online classical music education. Thousands of music professionals, teachers, students, and amateurs from around the world continuously work on mastering music using their vast available library of content. World Piano Teachers Association is comprised chapters encompassing nearly 100 countries and regions. The association and its affiliate chapters sponsor and organize dozens of competitions around the world and provide educational support of hundreds of musicians, schools, and thousands of students worldwide. History of Music, a social media channel and online public library of information on music events, articles, recordings, and news about music around the world. And finally, the Sound Espressivo Global Competition is an online, live-streamed competition. It combines a competitive and live performance experience for all involved.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.
The goal of colORCHESTRA auditions and these concerts is to encourage, to nurture, and empower musicians who are proactive and sharing their art and developing their careers, to help them connect with their future fans, with the audience, and to help them find the venue to share their talent and the richness of their offering of art. Together, we are providing opportunities for musicians to discover their unique voice, take initiative, present themselves on their own terms, and carve their own career paths. We're aiming at connecting the music with the audience around the world and at helping the audience engage on much more intimate and much more close relationships with the musicians. We ask our viewers to please feel free to comment. Use the chat box on whatever platform you're watching. Look, we're on just about any platform you can name. Put a finger: Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Vimeo, anything. Open that chat box and send us your message. We would like to get connected with you through that. These broadcasts can be viewed and later as replays of those concerts, so you can leave the comment later as well. Now let's meet the judges, members of the international panel of judges who were providing the comments and helping select the soloists of today's concert. Georg Sargsyan, conductor and cellist. Hailed as one of the most inspiring artists of his generation, Georg Sargsyan is a Singapore-based conductor and music director from Armenia. He's a recipient of Sir George Solti Award and has been conducting in various venues around the world and different orchestras. He's a visiting professor of the University of Philippines College of Music, and he regularly guest lectures and conducts in various educational establishments around Southeast Asia and other countries. He has recently been appointed as Artistic Director of Music Hubs with the Ministry of Culture of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Joanna Moffett, soprano, American soprano. She relocated to Chicago about 7 years ago, and since then she's been making a splash across the Chicago art scene. She's making a name for herself, particularly in the repertoire of Puccini and Mozart, and her brilliant and silvery voice especially shines in those styles and those operas. As a producer, she has sought to bring opera to non-traditional venues with her company Core Productions. James Welch, pianist and conductor known for his performances on 3 continents, he maintains active career as a piano soloist, chamber musician, conductor, and instructor of piano. He is a prize winner of many competitions, and he is a director of music theater and producer of concerts and shows, and the director of progressive musicians. Lisa Lehman, soprano and executive director of Western New York Chamber Orchestra. She's an accomplished operatic soprano, voice teacher, and acting coach, and she's at ease with both operatic stage and on the concert and oratorio stage. She's a recipient of Lincoln Center Everett Fisher Hall in New York City, and her work as an administrator included the assistant management of box office and management of a private HIV-friendly dental practice in New York City. And you'll hear more from Lisa in her interview later in the program. Again, we would like to invite audience members to comment and support today's performance and artists through your active participation on any of the platforms. We were able also to catch soloists for quick interviews in the lobby while they were rehearsing with the orchestra. And right now, I would like to pass on the stage to these wonderful musicians who came from all these countries: Israel, Europe, United States, and give you an opportunity to really meet them in person a little bit closer. And now we have in our studio Nahar Elias, cellist from Israel. And I understand, Nahar, you just arrived a day ago, so you must be jet
Yeah.
lagged.
We just talked about it, and I am super jet lagged. I think it's 4 a.m. in Israel, and I definitely feel like it's 4 a.m. I'm like losing my mind a bit, but it's fun. I like that.
And you just had a very successful rehearsal in this beautiful King concert hall. And by the way, the guy behind you is King.
Yeah, he's a cellist. He's Harry King. I just talked about it to some guy here, and he told me he died a long time ago. But yeah, he looks really nice.
Yeah, he got this wonderful concert hall named after him.
Yeah.
And Nahar, you're very young. You're just 16, but you're a winner of absolute first prizes of more than 20 international competitions. You're really a seasoned competitor, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually, about 16, I'm turning 17 in less than 10 days.
Well, you're
I'm
still
gonna-
16, sweet 16.
I know, yeah, but I mean, I'm looking to the future. So actually, in I think 5 days, I think it's the 14th. So I'm gonna be 16 in 6 days, 17 in 6 days. So yeah, that's exciting.
But you already performed in really famous concert venues like Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall, Jordan Hall in Boston, and many other places around the world. And you performed with the orchestras before, with the very famous Jerusalem Symphony, right? And
Yeah.
among others.
Yeah, I did, and it was everything you mentioned. Everything is really an important experience for me. I learned from every single one of those experiences, a lot, actually, and everything was very fun. With the symphony in Jerusalem, I actually played the St. Sounds, I think, as well in the Haydn, and a bunch of more orchestras in Israel. I think it's been my dream since I was very young, to do this, and I'm so happy I get to do this now. It's harder than I thought, but it's still fun.
So you wanted to be a touring professional performer ever since you were young?
Since I was, I guess, almost 5 years old. Yeah, and it was really young. My inspiration, Jacqueline Dupre, the amazing cellist. So when I was young, every night I would drive my sister crazy because we lived in the same room, and I would listen to her play the Dvorak and Allegro Concerto on repeat for I think the entire maybe years. I'm not joking, years. And she would hate it so much, but she was my biggest, and still is my biggest inspiration. So since I was young, I always wanted to play, orchestras, and I love music so much. I love making people smile and myself smile when I do it. So there's nothing better than that. It's the best thing you can do, really.
It certainly is your world, and you sound like you're really enjoying it, like you're in your own element when you're performing.
I always try to. It's always important to me to have my personal interpretation of a piece and what I feel, what I think about it, because I think that's what makes an artist an artist. If you're just trying to copy someone, it's fine to have inspirations. I'm not saying that, but always important to have your own kind of, connection with the piece. In the end of the day, it's just music. It's just notes on a paper. You need to, feel whatever you want, tell a story, and that's just so much fun to do every single time.
But it also takes a lot of support. You have fabulous teachers. You're studying with Professor Lawrence Lesser right now and Professor Hillel Zori. These are fantastic musicians. I'm sure they're sharing a wealth of experience and knowledge and tricks and tips with you.
For sure. They've done this many more years than I have. And I think I love their advices so much. Both of them are amazing teachers, because they can share, I think, mostly also mental advices for me. Not everything is about always just technical stuff. Obviously that's really helpful, but sometimes it's about, because they've been through so much, they can look for everything from more up than I can, the bigger picture, you can say. And that sometimes helps me, because I look at everything I want to do this the best and this one the best. So they're like, it's okay, you can, they can give me mental advice, which I think it's important for everyone in every job, in everything you do.
Absolutely. It's very important to have wonderful, trusted mentors who can show you the bigger picture, just like you said.
Yeah.
Well, you just need support from people. And that's all you need. The rest you're doing yourself. You're studying music, you're learning new pieces, you're performing, you're courageous, you walk on big stages, and you enjoy it. You really fly with the moment and putting your heart into music. But if you could have any wish in the world, what would you like people around you do more for you? to help you achieve your goals and your dreams?
That's a great question, I think. I'm going to answer this in a bit complicated way. I hope it's fine.
Oh, totally fine. Go
is
for
it
it.
fine? Okay, I'm going to tell a story. Okay? Story
Please
time.
do.
So, since I was very young, as I told you, I loved listening, like 4 years old, I loved listening to classical music every single night. I would imagine myself play in a big stage and everything, and just listening to it. And, you know, I feel many kids, especially children in my age or even younger, they don't really know classical music because they have, like, you know, bad stereotypes about it, like it's boring, it's long, people dress like it all in black, you know. But that's not true. I think classical music has everything pop and rock has, even better. I mean, I love pop and rock, I love everything. I love everything really, but classical music is no different from any other kind of music. And my wish, biggest one, is that people, especially in my age, will listen to it and I think, and love it as much as I do, or however they feel about it, you know, it's just music. And I feel like the way to do it is that we in the industry need to change our image and everything, like how we dress, how we talk, everything. I think I'm trying to do it with the way, you know, I speak and talk. I want to appear more casually, and I think, and I am. It's how I really am. I'm not like, it's how I am in real life. So I think all of us, doesn't matter what we do in the industry, need to make it a bit more appealing to younger audience. So, because I think we're missing a lot of people that we really enjoy it if we just change the image, you know.
And how would you advise for older people, like the generation of your teachers, to change their image?
I feel like it's not really from the teachers. I feel like, again, I love the music. Nothing to change about the music itself, because that's perfect already. Everything aside from the music, the actual music, we should change. Even the way we dress, the way we advertise the concerts, because we know what younger people want. We live, all of us, in the, you know, reality. We all know what, you know, goes popular and what not. So we should, all of us, in every way possible. It's going to take a lot of time. I'm not saying it's very easy. It's very difficult, but we should try and change things slowly, whether it's how we dress, how we talk, how we advertise, everything. Make it appealing to everyone, so everyone can enjoy it from every single age. Yeah.
Yeah, not to be so snobbish, right?
No. No.
But that's a great advice. Listen to the young people, really understand what younger generation wants, and to appeal so that they have the door open for this great ocean of beautiful music you write.
Yeah.
Wonderful advice. Thank you, Nahar. Thank you for your talent. Thank you for your dedication and love for music, for speaking with me. I'm
It was
so
my
looking
pleasure.
forward to hearing your concert.
Thank you. Me too. I'm just kidding. No, thank you.
Go get some sleep.
I really, really want to. I don't know where. Maybe here. I don't know. I'll find somewhere.
Yeah. You need some rest so you're fresh for your concert tomorrow.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
See you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
Hello, and now we have Ben Battaglia joining our studio for a short interview. Ben, welcome. It's a great pleasure to see you again.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
How was your trip?
Good. I just got in to Pittsburgh, where my family's from, and drove all the way here. So,
Oh my goodness, you just drove and you're going to have a rehearsal.
yes.
Do you know who is that guide next to you?
This is, I hear, Harry King, whom the hall is named after.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What a support cellist. Got named on the control. Okay, well, Ben, I want to ask you a couple of questions for this short interview. You're such a versatile musician, and you're versed in jazz, improvisation, classical and sacred music, and you won national, international competitions, and you have your successes, your performance and in gigs all over the United States. And you wrote something really interesting in your bio. I'm going to quote you if you don't mind. You believe in the transformative power of beauty, and you desire to use art as means of reminding your listeners of their own inherent dignity and worth. Beautiful words.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So you also did something very unusual in your audition. You chose the second movement of a Chopin concerto, which was a very unusual choice because it's a slow movement, and most musicians choose something which would be loaded with virtuoso, glorifying their ability to conquer the instrument. So I have a question. When you were picking that movement, did you feel like you were running maybe a risk that the judges might overlook your performance just because of the choice of the piece?
Yes, I think in the back of my head, I always felt this would be a risky choice since it was nothing flashy. But at the same time, I really just wanted to speak from my heart. It's a piece that I love so much. And I wanted to see if this competition would be willing to receive that. And I'm really grateful that you have recognized that. So.
That's very interesting. And so, yeah, well, this piece speaks to your heart. It does speak to mine and many other people's hearts, I believe. But what was the main reason? I mean, I'm sure there are other pieces which you love just as much, but anything special about this particular movement?
Yes, I think I came across it at a very critical time. I just had my first son, my first child, about 8 months ago, and Chopin was always in the back of my. Thank you. And I just immediately connected this momentous occasion for our family with this piece, and I really wanted an opportunity to dedicate this very intimate movement of Chopin to my son. So that's why I chose it.
That's a beautiful story.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful background of the choice. And I'm sure you're very nervous and ready to go hit the keyboard to warm up for your rehearsal. And looking forward so much to your performance, Ben. That's a great pleasure to present you.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wishing you all the best. Can't wait.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now we're drawing closer and closer to the beginning of the concert, and we're going to bring the concert hall on the screen right now. Ooh, we can hear the musicians are warming up right there at the King Concert Hall. And I would like to also introduce Steve Robinson, who will be helping us with providing some commentary right now. Steve, great pleasure to see you. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Concert.
Very exciting interviews, and it makes you really want to hear these performances. Very exciting. Can't wait.
Yeah, wonderful. And we also, I would like to invite on screen Fedor Spensky, who's giving us some commentary from the younger generation perspective of everything. Welcome, Fedor.
Welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. It's so exciting to see so many organizations working together on such a wonderful performance. Can't wait to see it live.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave the stage to the two of you to comment, whatever you brought for the commenting here while we're waiting for the orchestra to get ready and for all the audience to take seats. I can see the audience is gathering together and people are taking seats. That's so exciting.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of different camera angles that are set up for this performance. The production level is amazing. And also you will hear Gretchen Fischer, the concertmaster, be tuning the orchestra very soon. So looking forward to that.
And the first performance is of the Vivaldi. Is that right, Fedor?
Yes, Vivaldi Concerto in D major. And that's on the guitar.
That's right. We'll be hearing the entire concerto. Is that right? All three movements?
Yes, the full concerto.
That's very exciting with Julio Reyes, and we're very excited about that. And the concertmaster, we should say, of the orchestra is Gretchen Fischer. Is that right? And
yes.
Our conductor is Glen Cortese.
That is right. And looks like they are quieting down. We're about to hear the Vivaldi.
Terrific.
Enjoy.
And we're waiting for the appearance on stage of our conductor, Glen Cortese, who will be accompanying Julio Reyes in this Vivaldi concerto. We're going to have a bit of a delay, a couple of minute delay, but we seem to have a full house here at the university. And this concert is taking place at SUNY Fredonia in New York. And it looks, Fedor, like a beautiful concert hall.
Yes, it's gorgeous. And we were told that the hold is because the ticket line, they're just getting more people in, so we'll be seeing more people coming in, and they just want to make sure everybody is able to get into the audience, into their seats, to enjoy the performance.
Well, this concerto by Vivaldi happens to be one of my favorites. Actually, I've fallen in love with Vivaldi more than ever, so I'm very eager to hear this. The conductor is, as we mentioned, Maestro Cortese. Am I pronouncing that right, or is it Cortese?
That is right. Cortese, yes.
Yeah, he's in his 4th season as artistic director of the Schenectady Symphony, and his 17th season as artistic director of this orchestra, the Western New York Chamber. He was music director of many orchestras. He's a resident conductor, an artistic administrator, and a principal conductor of orchestras throughout the United States and abroad. And he's appeared with orchestras all over the place, actually. In the United States, in Europe, in Latin America and Asia. And he's now an assistant conductor of the New York Philharmonic, which has just announced a new conductor. So maybe he'll be working with Maestro Dudamel in the future. He's received many honors. He's conducted summer festivals in Chautauqua, the Bowdoin Summer Music Festival in Maine, the American Dance Festival, and he's performed with, are you ready? Ransom Wilson, Sharon Isbin, Ruth Laredo, Nathaniel Rosen, Glenn Dictorow, Sylvia McNair, Mignon Dunn, and Don Upshaw. So he is quite something, and our soloist is lucky to have him as his accompanist in this Vivaldi. He is, again, the artistic director of the Western New York Chamber Ensemble, and they're performing in this beautiful concert hall at SUNY, the State University of New York, at Fredonia.
Yeah, and it says we also have here saying that he's also a strong advocate of new music, and he has conducted over 150 premieres.
Really?
Has worked in direct collaboration with composers such as Milton Babbitt, Elliott Carter, John Corigliano, George Klum, and others.
That's quite a formidable lineup of composers, actually. I had the good fortune to know Milton a little bit, Milton Babbitt. And also Elliott Carter. I did a program with Elliott, 2-hour program of his life. And I've never met George Crumb, but who passed away recently, a wonderful. So this Glen Cortese
we have some more info about Julio as well, the guitarist, the soloist here that will be performing the Vivaldi Concerto. He was born in Oakland, California, and started guitar at the age of 5 with his father, a former musical diplomat in Paraguay, South America, if I'm pronouncing that right. Who studied with a student of Agustin Berrios. He gave his first recital at 12, and at 17 performed the Concerto de
Aranjuez, that's right.
Aranjuez, with Richard Buckley and the Oakland Symphony Orchestra, who has performed in Europe, South America, and the Caribbean. That's very cool.
And I hear the audience quieting, so this may be a signal that the concert is about to begin. It's great that they had to delay the concert so they could get everybody into the hall, a very popular concert here in Fredonia. So we're very excited about that. And in just a moment, Maestro Cortese will be on stage with Julio Reyes guitar. And I see one of the musicians fanning herself. You see that there? She must, maybe it's a little warm in the hall, I don't know. I'm in Tucson.
The lights will be definitely bright enough for us to see everything, including Gretchen Fisher, who I believe that's who that is right now.
I see, yes.
Who is waiting for the moment to start the tuning. So looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll start soon.
Yes, and these musicians are competing. Will there be one winner, Fedor, tonight?
I am not sure, but I know that we are in the second concert of a long program of concertos from all different time periods and composers. I believe these are all winners because they are performing with the orchestra.
I see.
They were all selected by the long panel of judges mentioned by Anna Spenskaya earlier. So this is a great honor to hear them all perform. Every single one of them is going to be an amazing performance.
I see. And the cellist that Anna interviewed earlier in this introduction actually flew in from Israel to be here. She was jet lagged yesterday, but I imagine today she's all fresh and ready to go. And
those interviews were great. I absolutely loved watching that. I love the statue behind it. Or the statue, if you saw in the interviews, was the cellist who the hall was named after, Mr. King.
Right, that's right. So again, it's we never like to have a delay on a concert, but this is a good reason, because the line outside the hall waiting to get in was so much they had to wait to get everybody into the hall. It is quieting on the stage, and we expect the appearance of Glen Cortese any moment on the podium for this performance of the Vivaldi. It's not a long piece, but it's a wonderful piece by a man who really knew how to write a concerto. That's one thing you can say about Vivaldi. He wrote quite a few. And,
very many.
Yes, and the thing about the Vivaldi concertos is they're all different from each other. It's not like he not formulaic. Each one is distinct, each one is unique, and this one is no different. This is the wonderful concerto RV 93. It's the concerto in D major for guitar and orchestra, and it's in 3 movements. And we're going to be hearing throughout the concert. This, I believe, is one of only 2 concertos that we'll be hearing in its entirety, and we'll also be hearing in entirety the last piece after intermission, the Concerto named Minor for cello and orchestra by Camille Saint-Saëns, and Nahar Elias will be performing that in its entirety. Yes, very excited about that. And I see the concert mistress is still fanning herself. Must be a little steamy in the hall there.
I've been on stages many times. Usually the spotlights are going to be the thing that...
And here we go with an announcement.
Time for the concert.
Good afternoon. I'm Joanna Moffett, the Artistic Director of Core Productions. Welcome to the first colORCHESTRA International Artist Concerto Concert Weekend. With that being said, I invite all of you to turn off your electronic devices or put them on silent. This concert is the culmination of a year and a half of work of the international team of artists and arts administrators from Brilliant Talent Discovery Awards, Core Productions, Progressive Musicians, Sound Espressivo, Virtual Concert Halls, and the Western New York Chamber Orchestra. As an alum of this beautiful institution, I am so proud to see all of you here this afternoon. With just shy of 50 applicants from around the globe, our team of judges was honored to listen to the world's finest talents in strings, voice, winds, piano, and guitar. We enjoyed all of the performances and are thrilled to share the very best of them with you this afternoon. Through colORCHESTRA's partnership with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, we are pleased to perform here at the State University of Western New York tonight. Please feel free to watch any of the broadcasts both today and Fridays on our various platforms listed on the back of the colORCHESTRA program. To find out more about colORCHESTRA or how you can get involved, be it auditioning, donating, or volunteering, please email info.colorchestra@gmail.com. COLORCHESTRA. Thank you again for joining us, and please continue to support the arts.
And that was a performance of the Concerto in D major by Antonio Vivaldi with one of our winners of the concerto competition. That was Julio Reyes, and the WNYCO orchestra was conducted by Maestro Cortese. That was a beautiful performance, Fedor.
Yes, that was so pleasant. I saw you were commenting with in our chat here that the second movement is the most beautiful movement ever. It's just incredible. It is very gorgeous. I love the transition between the harmonies. It's so smooth.
Yes, and our next soloist, who will be on the stage in a moment, is Timothy Shee, violin, and he'll be performing the first movement of the Concerto in E minor by Felix Mendelssohn for violin and orchestra. Fedor, probably you're a violinist yourself, probably one of the most well-known concertos in the entire literature, isn't it?
Yes, it's very well known, a lot of played quite often, but not overplayed. So it's in a fantastic spot. I think a lot of people love to hear it, and we'll love to hear it today as well.
Now, Timothy is a violinist and a sophomore at Millburn High School. Where's Millburn? Is that in New Jersey? Yes. And he began playing violin at the age of 4 and has since performed as a guest soloist. Wow, with the New Jersey Symphony as a soloist at Lincoln Center, and as the concertmaster of the New Jersey Youth Symphony, Symphonia, and Philharmonia. And here he comes. It's Timothy Shee, violin, followed by Maestro Cortese for this performance of the first movement of the Mendelssohn Concerto for violin and orchestra. And that was a performance of the first movement of the Mendelssohn Concerto for Violin and Orchestra. And the wonderful violinist was Timothy Shee. And he, Fedor, is one of the winners of the colORCHESTRA International Artist Competition. That was Glen Cortese conducting the West New York Orchestra. A very beautiful performance. He's a real virtuoso.
Yes, yeah, that was a wonderful, wonderful movement. I don't even mind hearing just the first movement of this. I think it has a great shape to the piece. And he did a wonderful job with it.
And before we come to the intermission, we do have one more performance, and that will be the first movement of the Mozart Concerto number 20. And that's the Crucial 466 in D minor. We'll hear the Allegro movement, and it'll be performed for us by Kurt Tong, who is a wonderful young 20-year-old Chinese pianist who has been performing since she was 11. At the age of 15, she joined the Sichuan Symphony Orchestra, and she's currently pursuing a dual degree in piano performance and finance at the Eastman School of Music and the School of Art of Sciences and Engineering at the University of Rochester. So she can just about do anything she wants with that kind of a background. She's a pianist, as you'll hear in a moment, a very good pianist, and she has already won this competition. We should say, Fedor, that everybody performing at this concert is a winner of your competition. Yes. So tell us a little bit about the competition and how it evolved.
Oh, wow. I mean, the involvement of just all of the different musicians from all over the world. I mean, it's a global competition, so performers from all over the world would compete, would come in and perform live in front of judges, and the judges would respond and give feedback right after their performance. So there's no waiting, there's no waiting around, and I think that's a big highlight of the competition. And they've gotten through all the rounds, and here we see her coming on stage with the conductor, and let's enjoy the performance.
And that was a performance of the first movement of the Concerto in D minor, K466 by Mozart, and given a very sparkling and wonderful performance there by one of the winners of this competition, Kurtang. And she was accompanied by Glen Cortese and the West New York Chamber Orchestra, and performed here at the SUNY Fredonia College in a beautiful auditorium that is packed, and is all part of this competition. Fedor, tell us a bit about what's coming up.
Well, this is the intermission. We've gone through our 3 concertos, 3 performances, and we have a lot to go. We have 2 more concertos that are going to be happening. We have Ben Batalla on the piano that's going to be performing the E minor concerto by Chopin.
The second movement.
And then the second movement, just the second movement.
That's right.
And then we have also Concerto in A minor by Saint-Saëns on the cello. Nahar Elias is going to be performing that one.
And that will be the complete concerto in A minor for cello and orchestra by Camille Saint-Saëns. And Nahar Elias has flown in especially from Israel for this performance. So we're in an intermission here, and we have really, the performances we've heard so far have been just really spectacular. And again, Fedor, these are not finalists. These are the winners of the competition that virtual concert halls and other organizations have presented. So we're seeing really the best. And it's really quite a long process that's led up to this concert, isn't it?
Yeah, no, this is it. This is the winners. They've done it all. They've performed many times in different scenarios and different situations, and the judges have given them comments which they have taken in and have been able to go throughout the process of the competition, and this is the final kind of product and final stage for them, literally the stage, Kane Concert Hall. We're so glad to see it. And we have some comments here as well. Julio, who has performed earlier, has commented here, all these young soloists have such bright careers ahead of them. That I agree with, absolutely.
That's
and
a
also
comment,
another comment saying beautiful performance.
And that's from a LinkedIn user. If you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn or Twitch or any of the venues and the platforms that virtual concert halls are set up, please make a comment. We'll see it on the screen. We'll relay your comment to our viewers around the world. And
we pride ourselves in being live on all kinds of platforms. We want to reach everyone everywhere. Doesn't matter what way you connect with people. You want to make sure that you can connect with everybody else, and we can all be here together and let music kind of unite us in this wonderful concert and wonderful program.
Yeah, we saw Twitter. You can watch on Twitter or Instagram, I think. There it is. Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can even watch. I didn't even know you could watch things live on LinkedIn, but apparently you can. And if you're watching, please send us in your comments. Now, we are performing at one of the colleges of the State University of New York system. This is in Fredonia, New York. And we had the distinct pleasure, Fedor, the other day, of talking with the president, Stephen Collison of the university, and also Rob Deemer, who's a professor in the School of Music and chair of the Department of Theater and Dance. And we talked to them about the school and about the arts in the United States and what the school is helping to do to make it a stronger situation. Are we ready to roll that tape, Fedor?
You had the personal pressure, and I was just about to introduce you for that, but you did a phenomenal job, and we'll see more of you right now in this video of that interview.
Well, hello. We're very happy to have two very distinguished guests with us for a very brief interview. First is Dr. Stephen H. Collison, Jr., who became the 14th president of the State University of New York at Fredonia, started his duties on June 29th, 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic, which must have been quite challenging. We'll discuss that. Dr. Collison has a distinguished record of serving in faculty and leadership positions, and I could give his resume now for about the next half hour, but I just want to single out one thing. He was at the University of Indianapolis, UIndy, from April 2017 until August of 2020, and under his leadership there as chief academic officer, UIndy conferred its first degrees in industrial and system engineering, mechanical engineering, and software engineering, and he worked with the faculty to plan and offer 10 new degree programs, including electrical engineering, general engineering, and data analytics, and that just barely scratches the surface. President Collison, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And we're also happy to have with us Rob Deemer, faculty member at Fredonia. He's the recipient of the 2018 ASCAP Deems Taylor Virgil Thompson Internet Award. Rob is a composer, a conductor, an educator, an author, and an advocate, and his works have been commissioned all over the place, from the Buffalo Philharmonic to the University of Texas, the Rasher Saxophone Quartet, and so many other soloists as well. And this jumped out at me from his resume. His work as an advocate for underrepresented composers led him to create the Institute for Composer Diversity. And that's a program I wasn't familiar with. We'll discuss that a little bit if we have time as well. Gentlemen, I want to begin by just asking you this question. Perhaps President Collison can answer this. The liberal arts and music are widely accepted as essential and powerful fields with unmatched potential for bettering our communities and for society's well-being and for helping students develop their own goals in life. And the positive impact of the arts on mental health, for example, are incalculable. At the same time, we know all too well that the arts and those who work in the arts are facing challenges. Music education is being cut in the schools, budgets are being cut, and then particularly in the aftermath of the pandemic, all those challenges have just been amplified. So I'm wondering, President Collison, what do you see as your schools and your art department's roles in addressing some of those challenges?
Certainly. Thank you so much for what I consider to be a very important question, especially in the context in which we live today. It's about relevance when the question actually come down to that. Here at SUNY Fredonia, we find this to be a very viable tradition on our part. This is part of the fabric of our institution. And not only that, we prepare our students to go out and be successful in the field, but also to be advocates of the arts. And so we give it a very high priority. We also train our students to be connected so that when they are out as professionals, they are also connecting with people who can influence the decisions at the national level, at the regional level, and at the state level. So through advocacy and through various connections, we do everything we can to make sure that these areas remain very, very relevant to the education of our students, and not only that, for preparing young people throughout this country.
Right. And Dr. Deemer, this concert in particular is being produced under the auspices of SUNY at Fredonia. How do you see this concert, this particular concert, as important to furthering these goals, and how is the university participating directly?
Sure. So this concert is kind of a collaboration between the university, the School of Music, as well as the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, as well as other organizations as well. And I think that's part of one of the important parts of it is the fact that you're collaborating. We tell our students a lot that collaboration between themselves and others is important, but this is very useful as kind of a model to be able to show this is how the university can work with their community, as well as the fact that this particular concert is integrating musicians from all over the world, from China and from France and Israel, as well as the United States. And, in order to be able to demonstrate to our own students and our own community that what happens here in a relatively small community in Fredonia can actually have large impacts around the world, I think this is a really good model for that.
And will students have an opportunity to attend this concert? And I wonder what the reaction will be, because if I'm not mistaken, the students the people who are performing are pre-college. I think to many of them. Many of them. I think some are. I think it's a mixture of pre-college and college. I wonder if they'll be inspired by seeing these brilliant musicians soloing with your orchestra.
I think so. We've had a number of other types of examples like that. We do a number of types of events like this, and especially when we can bring folks here, from out of state or even from out of the country to be able to do that. That's always inspiring to our musicians.
Right. And Dr. Collison, how do you envision this concert in the larger picture of what you're trying to accomplish at SUNY Fredonia?
Yes. So I see this concert as a tremendous opportunity for students to learn. I think that add on to what we provide to them on the campus. I also see it as an opportunity for students to network. Again, part of our mission is for our students to be connected not only locally, but regionally and globally. So anytime we have an opportunity to bring such accomplished artists to the campus, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for our students to learn and to connect, and so that in the future, they can network with people of this caliber.
And when you mention networking, it's interesting because this concert, as you know, is being produced by virtual concert halls, and it will be viewed by anybody around the world who has an opportunity to see it, because they're on Twitter and just about every platform you can think of. So it's a wonderful opportunity I think for SUNY Fredonia to extend its footprint really globally, and your students in particular have a chance to witness it in person. So it's really an interesting opportunity. And Rob, as I indicated, or as I mentioned when I was introducing you, and I hope this isn't a digression, but could you tell us a little bit about this Institute for Composer Diversity? And as in your resume, it says you work as an advocate for underrepresented composers, and it led you to start the Institute for Composer Diversity. Tell us a little bit about that institute and what your goals are, what you do there.
Sure. So really briefly, basically this is a project that I started about 5 or 6 years ago. As a small project for my composition students here to make sure that they know who initially women composers were, and then after that composers of color. Basically it started as a small spreadsheet list so that they could know who to look for, and that just kind of got much larger, and now it's actually the institute is a part of the university. It's sponsored by the university. And basically what we do is we provide online resources for folks to be able to search for music by composers who belong to what we usually term as underrepresented or historically excluded groups, such as women composers, non-binary composers, composers of color, and as well as analysis projects. We actually just did one in collaboration with the League of American Orchestras this last year, showing how programming across the country has really kind of spiked in the last few years in terms of composers like that, and or from those groups, and we seem to be having a bit of an impact on the musical community in that way.
That's really wonderful. I'd love to learn more about it. And then just to conclude our interview, I'm wondering if both of you could just comment on what you'd like to see as a response to your efforts for your school's community in general, but in particular in relation to the concert, which is taking place in a few days.
So for me, I'm hoping that this concert and the work we do here in the School of Music and in the Department of the Arts and so on, we inspire people and we create more support for the work in music and in the arts, basically. I think as we started from the beginning, we talk about the challenges that we have to deal with. Sometimes the more people understand and appreciate what is happening, I think then you get more support out in the public, and you get more support from others who could be powerful advocates uh, for this area of work. And so I'm hoping that all of this helps to inspire our community and people who will come to the concert and also be supporters of the work we do.
Rob, any closing comments about this?
Yeah, I would just say that it's indicative of how broad Fredonia's music program is, that we're able to both collaborate with these various organizations as well as bring in artists from around the world. Even though Fredonia, as I mentioned, is a relatively small community in Western New York, it actually has a very large footprint in the musical community, and I think it's wonderful to see that reflected in this concert.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Good luck at the concert. I'm very eager to listen to it and watch it myself via virtual concert halls, and I thank you again for your time and your participation. Good luck with the concert.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure to interview the president of the university. This concert is coming to us from SUNY Fredonia, and that was the president, Stephen Collison, with Rob Deemer, who's on the music faculty and a very innovative person.
And it was you, Steve. You were interviewing
me, yes.
them.
I was in charge, yes.
That was a few days before this very concert that you was mentioned. It was like, a few days later. This is the concert. You guys are hearing it right now. How was it doing that interview?
Pardon me?
How was it doing that interview? How do you?
Oh, it was wonderful. And I see the orchestra is already on stage, so that's kind of a clue that maybe we're a little bit close to the beginning of the second half of this concert. And you tuned into to hearing the winners of the colORCHESTRA competition, which Virtual Concert Halls has produced. And we're going to be hearing two pieces in the second half of the concert. We will start with the second movement of the Concerto in E minor, Opus 11 of Chopin, and Ben Battaglia. If you listen to the interview that we did with him at the beginning of this broadcast, he chose this movement for very particular reasons. It's interesting that he chose the second movement rather than a bravura first or third movement, but he had his reasons for that. And then following that performance, we'll hear the complete Concerto in A minor, Opus 33 of Camille Saint-Saëns with Nahar Elias, the cello. We'll hear that complete performance. And these are very exceptional artists. Ben offers a distinguished musicianship with a versatile background in jazz, improvisation, classical, and sacred music. That's quite a span if you think about it, jazz and sacred music and classical. He's an actor, performer, a composer, a recording artist, and teacher. And I imagine he entered in the professional category, Fedor?
Yes. And the other thing I will mention, you were saying what reason.
Well, here they're coming on stage, not much more to mention. And that's Glen Cortese, and it's the orchestra will be conducted by Maestro Cortese in the performance of the Chopin featuring Ben Battaglia. And here they are. And that was Ben Battalla, yes. That was Ben Battalla performing the second movement of the Chopin Concerto with the West New York Chamber Orchestra. And he is a winner of this competition presented by the virtual concert halls. All of the performers you've heard this afternoon and the next one are winners. They're not competing anymore. They've won this terrific competition put on by Virtual Concert Halls Feeder. It's been quite a process.
Yeah, definitely. And it was an interesting choice, like we talked about before, that this was just the second movement. Looking back at the interview, he said that it was at a critical point that he came across this piece. It was while he had his first son just recently. And so it's very personal to him, and it's about that. So he wanted to express that personal connection with the piece and his love for it. And that's why he chose just that second movement.
Right.
Right in the middle of the storm of Chopin's.
You can hear that coming through in the playing. And we have one final performer, and she is a 16-year-old cellist from Israel. She is here from Israel. She came in just for this performance. And she is, where did her name go here? She is Nahar Elias. And she is already a distinguished artist. She's distinguished herself by winning the first prize and the exceptional artist at the 2019 Vienna Grand Prize Virtuoso competition. Now, how old was she in 2019? Oh my goodness.
That's 4 years
She won
ago.
the Golden
12.
Classical Music Awards in New York in 2020. She's won more prizes that we can mention. She's performed at Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall, Jordan Hall in Boston, the Music of Orion. Oh my goodness, what a career. And she's playing on a Gagliano violin from cello from 1760. She's an exceptional musician. I hope everybody watching now has heard the interview with her, because she's just a very unusual and very brilliant and very insightful and
her
musician.
personality is really nice and sparking, and here she is coming out on stage.
And she's with Glen Cortese, who will conduct the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, and we're coming to you live from the SUNY campus at Fredonia, New York. And here is Nahar Elias with Glen Cortese in music of Camille Saint-Saëns, the complete cello concerto.
What a fantastic job by Nahar on the Saint-Saëns concerto. That was beautiful, a great way to end the program. Thank you everyone who was watching. And we have Steve here as well.
Well, that was Nahar Elayaz, and she was performing the Camille Saint-Saëns concerto magnificently, as you said, Fedor, and she was performing with Glen Cortese conducting the Northwestern Chamber Orchestra. And this concert was coming to you live from the State University of New York campus at Fredonia in New York. And this is all part of the colORCHESTRA, International Artists, a program put together by virtual concert halls. And this concert presented just the winners of the competition. This wasn't a competition in and of itself. So all of the 6 performers you heard, or was it 5 performers, were all winners of this competition, and they're all magnificent. And as you saw, they all came out on the stage for a bow. That was really wonderful to see, following that magnificent performance by Nahar Elayaz, who is here from Israel. Our pianist in the Chopin was here from Austin, Texas, and our other soloists from various parts of the United States. So it's been a wonderful concert, and we're just so pleased that so many people were able to watch it worldwide on this stream produced by Virtual Concert Halls. And Anna Uspenskia, who's the founder of Virtual Concert Halls, is with us to help us wrap up and put a bow on this wonderful concert. Anna, are you there? There she is.
Yes, absolutely. That was magnificent. And thank you very much, Steve Feder, for commenting and leading this production. And that was an incredible performance of 5 soloists chosen by the International Panel of Judges for this glorious concert at the beautiful concert hall at the King Concert Hall, named after the cellist at the SUNY Fredonia. And we see the musicians are wrapping up and the audience is leaving, and I'm not surprised we heard so much bravos from the audience coming after Nahar's final performance of this wonderful concert. And we're about to finish our program. Some closing remarks. Fedor, Steve, please.
Well, I know, Anna, you wanted to thank the crew because there are quite a few people behind the scenes.
Yeah, I was
absolutely.
just about to say. Yeah, I was just about to say. It's so how many people from all over the world are involved in making this happen. It's lovely to have Anna, who makes a lot of the connections, and she makes all these personal relationships with all of these different people from all these different groups and companies and everything. And gets them engaged into making this production possible, into making all the concerts throughout the year possible. And let's thank everyone, including the audience, who have been also watching.
And I believe we have a person in Croatia to thank as well, don't we?
Oh, we have a lot of people to thank this. And first of all, thank you very much to the Virtual Concert Hall's production team, comprised of musicians who are doubling their performing careers and teaching careers and their own studios with these productions. Who better than musicians can give a helping hand to the artists on stage to produce these concerts? Thank you very much to Fedor, our artistic director and co-host today, Franda Rusinovich, who is a pianist, and he is a magician behind the scenes, changing the scenes right on time and putting those banners announcing to the audience that this is the upcoming movement right when it starts. And the large production team behind the scenes, Ante Božić-Kudrić and Chris Au and many others you see on screen, their names. Thank you guys very much for your wonderful work. And we want to thank all musicians of the Western New York Chamber Orchestra. You see their names on screen right now. What a remarkable group of fabulous musicians who performed this concert today at the King Concert Hall at SUNY Fredonia. And many, many thanks go to the crew on site. These are students and graduate students of the SUNY Fredonia. Thank you very much. The audio-video crew on the ground in the concert hall who did this fabulous work showing you different parts of the orchestra right when the musicians were playing and different angles. This was very engaging to watch, not just listen. Thank you, Danielle, Caitlin, and can you bring that group of names back for me, please? Caitlin, Lily, Christian, Harry, Daniel, and everyone else. Bravo, great job. And we want to thank also all the crews which helped with these productions in the concert halls here and at Westminster Church in Buffalo. You see their names on the screen. Thank you very much for all your hard work and your inspiration and your creative approach to these productions. And we also want to thank very much the supporters, the sponsors, and core producers of those concerts. If we have that visual, please put it on screen. Thank you very much, Frano. Just on time. What a timing. That takes a musician to work like that. You see, this was a result of collaborative work of many organizations from different countries. We have organizations joining us from Switzerland, from Italy, from the United States, from Croatia, from other countries. So welcome and thank you all for your support of these productions. And now I want to thank our audience for joining us, for being with us, for supporting our programs. Please go to our channels. Please like us, subscribe, so that you can get a notification when we come back again with similar productions. And thank you, Steve, for being with us, for your fabulous commentary. Fedor, thank you for co-hosting. We had this wonderful two gentlemen providing their insights and their views and commenting, and I love to see people from completely different generations joining us for that. Thank you all very much. And with that, we say goodbye.